So throughout these years, up to date right now, Charlotte has progressively grown, and what people are doing now is that they're not able to afford to live in, place like here, uptown, like in the uptown area and somewhat of the surrounding areas of uptown. So what a lot of people have done, they have migrated outside of the city. There's violence going on in the city. They still haven't, what's so crazy to me, they still haven't found the two people or persons, because they have them on videotape or recording. They still haven't found the two people that got killed at the Juneteenth ceremony last year, not this year. So there's a lot of shootings and things going on in Charlotte, as well as the outskirts or the surrounding counties, areas of Charlotte. Basically, wherever you move right about now, I'm not saying that anything could pop off at any given time, but I would definitely be would tell you to be advised of, or be aware of your surroundings. This is a open and carry state. It takes nothing for you to get a gun, as long as you have, as long as you don't have any felons. Any felons, robbery, armed robbery, domestic abuse and stuff like that. Other than that, if you have like little misdemeanors and, traffic tickets and stuff like that, and marijuana charge, stuff like that, they're not gonna look at that. And it takes really little to nothing. I'm waiting right now to be interviewed by the sheriff. I already went through the actual class and passed the class for my CCW. That's the concealed carry weapon. So I'm waiting for that for the interview. That takes place in August. After that, they're gonna mail me my license where I can carry a gun concealed. But for now, you can actually carry, a gun on your hip if you wanted to. So be aware and be, wise that there are people in the state of North Carolina that not only legally carry guns, but illegal too, and you can't track those. You can't track the amount of people that are walking around with firearms that's illegal. You understand? It's damn near impossible. So there are a lot of things going on in Charlotte, as well as the surrounding area. As of recently, Statesville, I don't know what's up with Statesville, but Statesville is, not too far from Charlotte. They've been getting into a lot of stuff, as of recently, one 8-year-old child got killed, and then two children, I don't know what their ages were because they never said it on the news, got shot. There's a lot of things going on, in the surrounding areas. In Pineville, a dude got shot, and that's unheard of. A couple of months ago, I think it was about a month or two ago, a guy they had a shootout inside Carolina Mall. It's just a lot of stuff going on. You understand? If you all are up on the news, you know what's going on as far as dealing with Rock Hill, and they're protesting because it's another police brutality case where the police are sitting back saying that they didn't do anything wrong. But when you look at the recordings, you can blatantly see that he was punching the dude. It was two brothers, and they were just getting beat up. They were getting manhandled, as usual. But they're saying that they follow proper procedure, and the guys were resisting. And it's clear as day that they weren't resisting at all. So there's a lot of stuff going on. So the thing of it is what I want to do is, I don't want to talk about the violence and the negativity, because I could go on for days of what happens in Charlotte as well as on the outskirts of Charlotte. What I will do is give you a solution to the problem if you all plan on moving here. And that is actually just telling you all where I prefer for where I live at, and the areas that I prefer to live in if I didn't live in the area that I lived in. So where I live at is in Still Creek. I'm pretty sure that you all that look at the videos know that I'm a fan of Still Creek. I mean, it has a lot to offer, and it sits on the outskirts of Charlotte. It's minutes away from Uptown. It's minutes away from some of everything, you know. So I'm in Still Creek. Still Creek is basically, how can I describe it? I can describe it, the best way I can describe it is, I'm an African American man that wear flip-flops. That plain and simple. I'm an African American man that walks in, you know, shops and hangs around Still Creek, and I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable there. I don't feel a certain kind of way. I don't get looks or nothing like that, because in that area it's ordinary. It's normal to see African American man with flip-flops going to the grocery store to purchase something. You understand? Because Still Creek is a very family-orientated area. So if you're looking for an ideal place and you're a middle class minority, but it is very diverse, the Still Creek area. I mean, that would be a good place. Valentine would be another good place, a good area. I would say you would have to have, you know, a decent amount of money. If you were middle class and you wanted to live there, I would actually say that you can probably afford an apartment, but you know, the homes are going 3-4 on up, and maybe more than that. You know, now the other areas I'm gonna talk about, that, you know, it's gonna, the price is gonna get worse, but the safer they are. I mean, you know how it goes. So South Park is another place, but you definitely have to have money. If you're trying to be middle class and live out there, I mean, you're not gonna find rent. Like, I pay $16.05 for my for the house that I live in. You're not gonna find that in South Park. Maybe $2,200-$2,500 a month, possibly renting. They have mansions, all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Down Sharon Road, Providence. You know, you gotta have money to live there, but it's definitely safe. I've never really heard of a lot of violence or anything happening in the South Park area. I heard one time something happened in South Park, but this is a while ago. Normally, you know, I'm not gonna even lie, like, normally people, you know, black people, they go there, you know, hood dudes, because there's a difference between, you know, niggas and regular black people. Normally, everybody that goes to the South Park Mall primarily knows how to, you know, behave. I'm not trying to be funny, but, you know, it's all white joint. They got Gucci, Louis Vuitton, all that stuff. It's an upscale mall. So I would say South Park. Huntersville is nice. You understand? The prices of houses up there. You know, you might be able to rent an apartment, you know, for a decent price. But other than that, you're gonna have to come out your ass. I'm just being straight up. Whether you're renting and owning. Matthews is a little bit more cheaper, but when you get around in the Lake Norman area and Matthews and Huntersville, you're damn near 20 to 30 minutes away from the uptown you know, area. You're probably a couple of minutes out of the Charlotte city limits, but it's still considered as being Charlotte. You're still gonna have, you know, when you write, you know, somebody send you a postcard or whatever have you, you can either write Charlotte, North Carolina, or Huntersville, North Carolina. Either way, it's still Mecklenburg County. In other words, that's what I'm saying. University, I would recommend, but it's certain areas and parts of university, because throughout the years, I don't know why, but for some odd mysterious reason, crime has picked up in that area. But like I said, there's areas in the university area. I used to live down W.T. Harris. There's areas in the university area where, you know, you don't have to worry about a lot of things. But down West Sugar Creek, going to East Sugar Creek, down there, this is a no-no. WT, going over South Tryon, turning into E.T. Harris, going down there's a no-go. You know, there's a couple places, but overall, I would say it's certain areas in university that you could stay in. Family orientated. A lot of minorities live there. You know, I had a friend that lives there. They're my cousins. I got two cousins. I got one cousin. She lives in the university area, and I think I have another cousin. She's younger, and she's newly married. So I think they're about to get like, they making money like that. So they living in a condo or something like that in Uptown. But yeah, that's about it. That's about it. So I get all of these questions, well, Langston, can you do this? Can you do a tour around such and such? And blah, 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 blah. Yo, I'm up to part 76 on a tour around Charlotte. So if you are not familiar with those tours, I suggest that if you want to know anything about Charlotte and the surrounding areas, that you look at, I'm not going to say all 76, but, I go from I get it all covered. And in 76 parts. I'll leave the link in the description box as well as in the comment section. So people ask me, what about Rock Hill? I wouldn't recommend Rock Hill for minorities. Now, I'm about to say something that may or may not be controversial, and it shouldn't be. It's the truth, and I think nowadays the truth hurts. The truth is controversial. And also, the truth can be turned into a lie. So the truth can be manipulated in these days and times that we live in, right? So I am speaking in, in a small world, which is the minority world. Now, if you're a Caucasian or outside of the black race, a Caucasian, if you're Chinese or something like that, you can live anywhere you want to live in the city. Yeah, it's just that plain and simple. You're safe any and everywhere, with the exception of the hood, of course. But they're gentrifying that. So places where, it was just all hood, like Wilkinson Boulevard and Freedom Drive, they're slowly but surely expanding uptown out. But y'all can live just about everywhere and anywhere. When I'm talking about, and when I say places where I suggest that you live at, is I'm coming from a minority's perspective. You understand? So if you're white, Chinese, or something like that, you can live anywhere you want to live. It's that plain and simple. Now, if you don't like the truth and that hurts, I don't understand how that will hurt you, how that will hurt your feelings, but if it did, so what? That plain and simple. Just imagine being boxed out. Let's just say you're white or whatever. Could you imagine being boxed out based on your income, based on your credit? And this is what I have to discuss with the minorities when I'm talking about moving from place to place. Because a lot of us, and I get it all the time in the comment section, or in my DMs, or my emails, yo, Langston, I have an eviction and I'm trying to go down there. How much it costs to live in the hood? Let me say this for the 18,000th time. If your life is not in order where you're at, don't move anywhere else until you get it right. That plain and simple. Because if your life is wrong, let's say you stay in Newark, New Jersey, it's gonna be wrong here. That plain and simple. Let me tell you something. When I was broke and I ain't have nothing, I couldn't make no money. None. But when I started making money, for some odd reason, money just start coming to me left and right. That's how things work. I don't know why. Ask the person that's in control or created the grand scheme of things. But for some odd reason, when you broke, it ain't no getting out of that situation. The only way you can get out of that situation is hard work. That plain and simple. There's nothing complicated about that. So if you got your life in order, then you can move to the next level. All right? So Rock Hill as a minority, I wouldn't live there because, look at what's going on. And you think that this is the first time they beat a minority's ass, black person's ass? Ain't the first time. Gastonia, I wouldn't live there. It's ran down. They're slowly but surely improving it. I wouldn't live there. I wouldn't live Indian Land, Indian Trail. Okay. It's okay. But it's to me it's too far out. Like the only reason why I go out there and I get them mixed up sometimes. So Indian Land, the only reason why I go out there, you know y'all gonna correct me, is when I'm headed towards the beach, Myrtle Beach. That's it. And Indian Land or Indian Trail, one of the two. I go to the gun range out there. It's actually, the gun range is crazy. It's in South Carolina, but it's called Ballantyne Gun Range. So I wouldn't live anywhere else. But you have to understand that I'm coming from a minority's perspective, and also on top of that, I have family. That's something that I have to consider. So wherever I live at, you know, it has to be definitely safe. It has to be how do they put it? Family friendly? Yeah. You understand? So I'm not single, you know, and married and or something like that. I gotta think about my family. You understand? So what else can I say before I get out of here? I think I've covered everything. Oh, Pineville. This is where I'm at right now. Nobody lives in Pineville. Pineville is a strip. That's all it is. That's all Pineville is. And the only reason why people from Charlotte go to Pineville is Carolina Place Mall. That's it. For the most part, Carolina Place Mall is safe. You know, even though they did have a shootout in the mall a couple months ago. That's what I recommend. Don't get it twisted. Things are still somewhat safe if you live in good areas. You know, and don't think that I'm carrying my gun everywhere and I'm paranoid, because that's not how I am. You understand? So I hope I helped you all. You know, other than that, leave your comments in the comments section. I want you to like, subscribe, and definitely share this video. All right, later.